Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to one and all. Page number 20 of your textbook, lesson number 1.5, the necklace. We are on the verge of the finish of the first part of the necklace, meaning they're already on the board. You can read it, write it, and remember to write it with pencil only in your textbook. The day of the party arrived. That means the 18th of January, Monday evening. Madame Loisel was a success. She was prettier than all the other women, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. Meaning she was looking much more grandeur than all the other women in the party. She was a great success means she was looking gorgeous, charming, attracting because of the fulfillment of all the requirements she was asking for from the better half. That means she wanted a party dress, she got it. She wanted ornaments, she got it. So therefore everything was fulfilled. So in that way, not only because of the dress, but being happy was the most merriment, or that particular moment of joy could never ever end, because it's such a type of moment when a person who is never visiting any form of entertainment or recreation outdoor, and all of a sudden someone gives an invitation, the bounds are unlimited, where you know that you can enjoy to the bitter end. Like you people go for one day picnic, at that place it is that you are given all the unlimited boundaries, you can cross all the limits, but within the discipline of the rules and regulation laid down of that particular picnic spot or excursion, educational trip in that case. But it's the same way when you enjoy your PT periods, you are very, very joyous. The half an hour of the PT period goes flying off. The same way any other subject where you do not adorn it or like it, that period consists of same half an hour, but yet it seems a very, very long and boring period. The same way here, Madame Loisel was having totally limitless bounds to herself because of the complete entertainment, enjoyment, and because she is looking much more beautiful, much more gorgeous, much more prettier than all the other women at the education minister's party. Full of joy in that way. She danced wildly with passion, forgetting everything in the triumph of her beauty and success, floating in a cloud of happiness. Here this paragraph explains she danced wildly. Wildly means strong emotions, where you are feeling really too happy, where there are no one to stop you from the entertainment point of view. With passion, passion means happiness, merrifulness, cheerfulness, forgetting everything. That means all the depressions, all the despairs, all the demise, all the sadness, all the sorrowfulness, all these have been forgotten by Madame Loisel, because she is enjoying the complete entertainment part of the party in the triumph. Triumph means victory of her beauty and success. Now this last part of the sentence, floating in a cloud of happiness. This means a life where everything is free, where everything has no limits, it's totally unlimited. Free willy life, such a type of life one has in his or her life for the first time. It happens very rarely, like for the first time you have gone to any mall, or first time you have gone to any water resort, or you've gone to any amusement park. That's the time when you find yourself too amusing, too happy, too merriful, and there you are limitless. You are no bound. You are enjoying your time to the utmost. If I tell you in a slogan form, like the Airtel people have the slogan "Aisi Azadi aur kahan." So it is same way. Floating in a cloud of happiness means living a free-willy life. Mathilde and her husband left at about 4 o'clock in the morning. That means the party continued right through midnight, and by finishing off by the party, Mr. and Mrs. Loisel left the party at around 4 o'clock in the morning. When they were finally in the street, they could not find a cab. Cab means a taxi. Obviously, they wanted to go home at 4 o'clock in the morning. They could not find a taxi out there or a cab out there, so they had to finally walk to a particular place. They walked down towards the Seine. Seine is a river bridge till they found one. One means a cab. One, O-N-E, one out here means a cab or a taxi. That means they had to walk over the river Seine bridge and then across it. They found one cab out there. They were dropped off at their door in the Rue des Martyrs, and sadly it was all over for her. Now the cab driver took them to the house and dropped them out there, and there came the sudden change of behavior, mannerism, and all the entertainment came to an end at Rue des Martyrs, and sadly it was all over. Sadly it was all over means all the entertainment came to an end. Finally, another disaster was waiting her. As she looked into the mirror, the disaster came out. In front of the mirror, she took a final look at herself in all her glory. That means with all the happiness she had entertained herself, she had enjoyed herself with all the preparation she had done and enjoyed at the minister's educational party. And as she stood in front of the mirror to take the final glory or final happiness or final greeting of gratitude, and everything changed at that very moment. And that was a sudden shock, a sudden disastrous appealing shout, a cry for something totally disastrous came in front of her. But suddenly she uttered a cry, shouted very, very loudly, or screaming on top of her voice, yelling on top of her voice. She no longer had the necklace round her neck. That means the necklace was lost. The necklace fell off somewhere or the other. The necklace was no more around her neck. As she stood in front of the mirror, she started howling, started shouting, started crying, and then she totally drooped down and fell down onto the ground. And immediately hearing this, the husband, Mr. Loisel, came running towards Mrs. Loisel. Madame Mathilde, what is the matter? What is the matter? Asked her husband. She took a long breath, obviously because she was totally frightened, she was totally afraid, totally in a haphazard manner. She turned towards him, that means looking at Mr. Loisel, panic-stricken. Panic-stricken means really, really frightened to the bottom of the heart, like you may have goose hairs out there. That means whenever you get scared, all of a sudden your hairs will stand on their ends. Let it be your hands, the hair on your hand or hair on your body or on your legs, in that way. I no longer have Madame Forrester's necklace. Now, in a stammering manner, in a hesitating manner, in a obviously scared, feared, frightened lady is unable to speak, is unable to speak out or tell or utter or say something to her own husband, Mr. Loisel. She again repeats, I have, takes a breath, I have, another breath, obviously a heaving sigh of relief, but that relief was of fear. I no longer have Madame Forrester's necklace. Mr. Loisel was totally astonished, was totally surprised. He himself was in a fix of what is happening. He stood up distraught. What? How? That's impossible. He himself was totally surprised, he himself was totally confused, he himself was totally puzzled, and the answer to what the question was given by Madame Mathilde, Mr. Loisel gave a reaction showing with a sudden stand up and saying distraught. Distraught means totally disturbed. That means the mind is totally gone. What? How? That's impossible. Something rather confusing, something rather puzzling, something that should never happen in life. But here, Mr. Loisel was totally in a fusion manner, so he himself was totally confused. This is the end of your first part of the necklace. In my next lecture, we shall start with part 2 on page number 22. If you have any doubts, any queries, any questions, you are most welcome to call me, chat with me, and you can write down the meanings with pencil in your textbook. Thank you. Jazakallah.